What's up, everybody? I am Destroyer, your coach of the Washington Wake Pokemon Draft League team, and we are in Week 5 of IDL. We are matched up against one of our rivals, Zach Mander and the Canadian Sarah Ledges. He calls him Sarah Luges. I think that's because he's Canadian. Anyways, he's got Terra Raging Bolt, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Spectre, Darkrai. He has a ton of offense and a ton of speed on this team. Terra Captain Raging Bolt can be Electric, Fairy, or Water. Mudsdale Terra Captain cannot be forgotten about with Stamina. That thing can be super hard to kill. Yeah, he's just got a really kind of offensive, cool team with some good sweeping potential options. Let's see what we're going to do to try and counter him. First off, we are bringing again Terra Flying Excadrill. Loaded dice this week. Doing that because Rock Blast is just a better rock move to have than, say, Rock Slide or Stone Edge. I don't even think we get Stone Edge on Excadrill here. It'll give us some extra power for Moltres, as well as just extra damage to whatever else might switch into it. Terra Blast Flying will have a good chance to kill his Quaquaval, depending on his EV investment, and Earthquake and Rapid Spin are just there for attacking and utility, respectively. Next up, we are bringing our second Terra Captain, Terra Poison Screamtail. Same set that we ran last week, different Terra type, Encore, Thunderwave, Wish, just for support and disruption, Dazzling Gleam so it's not complete taunt bait. So yeah, this will allow us to disrupt, hopefully, some of his stronger attackers, cripple them with Thunderwave if we can, stop him from doing bad things to us with Encore. We are bringing Hippowdon to set the sand for Excadrill. Sand and Excadrill will be faster than even like a Scarf Spectre if he brings that. We have Stealth Rock, Slack Off, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. Earthquakes can hit a lot of things, and if he brings in his Moltres on us, we can attack that with a Stone Edge and have a good shot to KO it or do heavy damage. So mostly bringing this thing for the sand. It's also a especially defensive version of Hippowdon to help take some hits from his especially offensive team. We are bringing a Choice Scarf Baxcalibur with Glaive Rush, Icicle Crash, Earthquake, and Ice Shard. Just want to kind of catch him off guard. I've been running Loaded Dice and Dragon Dance or Swords Dance quite a bit on here. Choice Scarf is not quite as common on Baxcalibur, so I just want to do something a little bit different there for him. Hopefully catch him off guard. We can potentially KO any of his Mon, depending on if they've got Chip or not. And it should outspeed his entire team as long as they're not invested or scarfed themselves. We're bringing Chi-Yu again with another Scarf. Overheat, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, and Psychic. Flamethrower and Dark Pulse are going to be our main attacks. Overheat if we need a little bit of extra power. And Psychic for his Quaquaval, who will otherwise resist all of our other stab moves. And lastly, we are bringing Shaman Sky. We are bringing a Yachi Berry this week, which will allow it to eat an Ice Spinner from a Quaquaval or some other lower power non-stab ice moves if he has them. I don't think we want to have an Ice Beam from Darkrai, but helps us against Quaquaval. With these moves, it's hitting almost everything on his team, and we have Healing Wish there, just because it's a good move that we've never actually been able to use yet. But anyways, that'll give us potentially a way to bring back one of our other win conditions, and there's not a whole lot of other stuff that we need in that slot, so it's a great move to have. So that's who we're bringing, and let's get into this fight. What's up, everybody? We're getting into the fight here against one of our rivals, Zach Mander. Gotta let you guys know I wasn't able to speak during when this was recorded. It was just a little bit later at night for me. My wife was sleeping and I didn't want to get in trouble. So I'm doing a post-com. It was a fun fight though, so excited to run you guys through this one. His Terra Captain is Raging Bolt. He can be Terra Fairy, Electric, or Water. And yeah, let's see what he leads here, and we'll see what we can do. Zach, of course, has a great profile picture there with an Oinkolone's buttocks. Zach is, coincidentally, a bit of an Oinkolone's buttocks. So we decide to lead with Hippowdon and just get our sand up. Really, we're not looking forward to facing Ogerpon Hearthflame here in the lead. A Horn Leech or a Power Whip is going to do significant damage to Hippowdon. was hoping to get rocks up here, but don't really have the courage to do so against Hearthflame here. So I think I go into backs on this one. Can't remember what he does here. But most of what it can do to backs can survive. We have a Choice Scarf on Excalibur this week, just for kind of a little surprise here. He goes for a Taunt, which is kind of the ideal situation for us right here. A little bit of chip from Sandstorm, which will help us doing kind of the calculations here. The problem with Choice Scarf here is we can't have loaded dice Icicle Spear, which really goes hard, so we have to go with Icicle Crash instead. Glaive Rush is going to be our strongest move here. It's a roll to kill this thing. Unfortunately, we didn't get the roll. That's okay. We end up losing backs right off the bat, which is a bummer, but Hearthflame is a huge threat into our team, so getting it chipped down to this amount is really big for us, even if it caused us to lose our Excalibur right off the bat. So now we can just come in, I think, with Excadrill. Could also come in with Shaman or Chi-Yu. All these things are going to outspeed it. And, I mean, we don't even have to attack it if we can survive whatever it does. I think this is probably a good opportunity just to come in and get off a Rapid Spin. Which we don't really need Rapid Spin because we have Sand Rush. But sand doesn't last forever, and so it's nice to have that spin boost as well, just in case we're out on the field for a few turns here. And might as well. We only need about 1 HP there, it looks like, so no real point in doing anything else. We just Rapid Spin. And this should KO. I guess the one thing that might be a bad decision here, or make that a bad decision, would be if he goes into his Spectrier, which obviously is immune to that, but he stays in. We get rid of him, we get our +1 speed, and then let's see what he does. So basically, we traded our backs for his Ogre Pawn, which I'm okay with, because it's a big threat again to our Weather Setter. If we don't have Weather up, it hits us really hard here, our Excadrill really hard. So I'm really excited at this point, because he brings in his Moltres, which is 4 times weak to rock, of course. It's a great mon with an awful weakness. Don't know if he just isn't expecting me to have a rock move. Well, you know what? I know he must not be expecting me to have a rock move, unless he's trying something here. So we go for a Rock Blast, which should be a guaranteed OHKO on this, even if it's max defense. Judging by how much damage these are doing, I don't think he is even max defense. So this turn here is absolutely huge for us. Having one of his main defensive pivots, assuming that that's what he's doing with it. We don't know what he's doing with it because it didn't get a chance to move. Having that thing out of the way is just absolutely huge for us. So, Excadrill gets 2 kills. He's putting in work. Let's see what Zach brings in next. I think we've got one more turn of sand. We do have our +1 as well from the Rapid Spin, so that's nice even after sand goes down. Zach realizes Excadrill is going to be hurting something pretty bad. He brings out Big Steppa, his Quaquaval. So we are Terra-flying on this, and honestly I'm getting a little bit excited at this point because I'm thinking, can I just KO this thing with a Terra-flying Terra Blast? Doing some calculations. Depending on his EV spread, if he is just kind of a high speed, high attack variant, this is a guaranteed OHKO. If he is defensively invested, it could potentially be a roll to OHKO. We decide to take the risk, and let's see if it pays off. Come on, kill Big Steppa. And we don't quite get the roll there. That's okay. So he's got some HP or defensive invest. It's about half to us. And unfortunately, Aqua Step raises his speed. Meanwhile, our speed is cut down without having You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the Excadrill is actually a faster base speed than Steppa, so I could have stayed in here and just done another rapid spin. And in the moment, I'm kind of thinking, okay, crap, my sand's gone. He just boosted his speed. He's going to be able to hit me again. Hindsight, I should have stayed in and rapid spun. That's okay, though. Because Screamtail is eaten. Hardly did anything to Screamtail. Easy kill first here if we want it, but my kind of consideration is I don't want him to... I think he's just sacking this thing at this point in time. I don't want to give him a free switch in to bring out Spectrier and just start freaking loading up on us. So, I don't want to kill him with Screamtail here, is what I've decided. I think we go for Encore soon. Okay, we go for a Wish first. Keep Scream healthy. So whatever he does here, Wish should bring us back to full health. And we're going to go for an Encore because this thing gets Ice Spinner. And kind of my plan here is let's lock it into an Aqua Step. And if we have it locked into an Aqua Step, we can safely switch into Shaman. So we get him locked in. And pretty sure we get healed up there. Perfect, we're back to full. Again, this is a lot of extra work when I could have just done a rapid spin, but that's okay. We bring in Shaman. We know he's going to either switch out or he's going to hit us with an Aqua Step, which we can comfortably live. Let's see what he does. It looks like he stays in, which means we're getting hit by an Aqua Step. A little chunk there. I think we can survive another one and still be over half. And then we just start attacking. I'm kind of thinking, what if he does switch out? Because any of these moves will kill Big Steppa. I think I'd go for Earth Power here, just in case he decides to save this and maybe switch into his Raging Bolt. It also is the only 100% accuracy move out of the three, so we go with Earth Power. Take another Aqua Step. This should KO Big Steppa. Big Steppa takes a step down. And can't remember who he brings out. I could see Raging Bolt coming out. And again, Raging Bolt is his Terra Captain. And it's surviving a even if it doesn't Terra, it's surviving an Earth Power pretty comfortably. And it's potentially doing some significant damage to us. We're half health now, a little bit above half, so a Draco Meteor is going to kill us. Probably, maybe even a Thunderbolt. Yeah, Footlong is his Raging Bolt here. He's got a balloon on it, so we cannot hit it with an Earth Power. So he could have switched into that, I guess. And our plan would have failed us with killing a Quaquaval there, but so pretty sure we switch out here. Don't know who we switch into. Looks like I'm thinking about that. Must be doing some calculations. And Screamtail. I think Screamtail is pretty comfortable coming in here. Hippowdon is probably okay as well. If he does a dragon move, we're immune to it. By having a fairy and a ground, it's kind of nice against Raging Bolt here because he his main attacks are immune to something. So if he's trying to predict us, it's kind of a rough situation. Screamtail is bulky enough that, and so we're predicting he's going to switch out here. We're Thunderbolting a Raging Bolt because this is not a good matchup for Raging Bolt. We correctly predict the switch, and who do we catch with this Thunder Wave? Perfection. Perfection. We'd love to see that. We are able to cripple his Spectrier with a Thunder Wave, and that thing just becomes way less of a threat. Still do not want to stay in with Screamtail. So options for switching out. Usually Chi-Yu is an excellent switch in to Spectrier. However, earlier in this week I had been helping a friend prep for the exact same situation where he was playing against a Chi-Yu. I'm thinking about it still. And the move was to put Mud Shot on Spectrier. Mud Shot is doing up to half, or I think it's a little over half, depending on if you're modest or timid, on Chi-Yu, and it's also lowering the speed. So I did not want to get two-shotted by a Mud Shot here. I told Zach about the tech, and so I knew he was going to be trying it on me, and he does. That cheeky bastard. Yeah, so he Mud Shots my Mud Boy here, and that's just fine. We are max Spadef on Hippowdon here. I think we just go for an Earthquake here. Yep, we do. Thinking about putting up rocks, but don't want to mess around too much with the Spectrier. It's still going to be faster than us, even with the Para. We don't want it to like start nasty plotting or... Excellent, you love to see the Para. That's what you get, Zach, for trying to steal my Mud Shot tech. And one more Earthquake should take him out here. If we decide to stay in, actually I can't remember. Do we stay in and just finish him off? But now he's not going to be Mud Shotting. He's going to be Shadow Balling, so we could just go into Chi-Yu. We don't. Does a pretty darn good chunk onto Hippowdon there, but we are able to live it with about half health. I think our leftovers will bring us back to about half. And yeah, feels great to have Spectrier out of the way. It's a huge threat if you don't deal with it properly. If you don't have a dark or a normal, he can just plow through entire teams with Grimnay and with Shadow Ball. So let's see who Zach brings in next. I can't even remember who he has at this point. He has his Raging Bolts, of course. His Terra Raging Bolts. Blackout. That's right. This is Darkrai. Brings in Darkrai. And do I just go to Chi-Yu here? I think I go to Chi-Yu here. He can carry Focus Blast, which would suck for Chi-Yu if we get caught by a Focus Blast. But he also can carry Ice Beam, which would KO our Hippowdon here. We don't want to lose our weather this fast. We don't want to take a Sludge Wave to Scream Tail or to Shaman. So Chi-Yu is really seems like it's the safest gamble here to take. Because even if he has Focus Blast, it's only a 70% accuracy move. Let's see what he does. Ice Beam. Does not do much to Chi-Yu, thankfully. We're Choice Scarf, so we're going to be faster than him. Overheat guarantees a kill. Flamethrower comes close, I believe. So we go for a Flamethrower. Maybe should have gone for the Overheat, but luckily for us, he does not appear to have Focus Blast. Because he goes for Dark Pulse there. So we're pretty comfortable here, and we just keep clicking Flamethrower. He just got Darkrai and Raging Bolt left. Let's see if he decides to preserve this thing. He does. And Darkrai will catch the... I'm sorry. Raging Bolt will catch this pretty easily. It's Dragon typing, but a decent chunk nonetheless, and we get a nice little burn there. It's not a physical attacker. It still is nice to have that little bit of chip damage, even if it's not much at the end of each turn there. And he knows we're choice locked here. So the move is we definitely want to switch out. Maybe I could have stayed in and just kept blasting, now that I think about it, because he's two more of these Flamethrowers I think would OHKO him, or well, would 2KO him, would finish the job for us here. But I think I'm just going to Scream Tail here. Scream Tail can eat an electric move. It can Encore him if you start setting up. I think we go into to Scream Tail, or do I opt to go into Hippowdon, predicting a electric move? If I were to do it again, I would go with Scream Tail, but it looks like we're going with Hippowdon. We went into Scream Tail last time, I guess. We're shaking it up a little bit. We're doing something a little bit different, and thinking maybe since we went into that last time, he does an electric move this time. Let's see what he does. He goes for a Calm Mind. So it really would have been nice to go into Scream Tail, because then we could have just Encored him. But now we're getting in a little bit of a trickier situation because he's setting up on us. We're probably within like a Dragon Pulse range or close now that he's Calm-Minded. Having that Calm Mind is going to make the matchup a little bit trickier with Screamtail. And so we go back into Screamtail, which is what we should have done originally. Let's see what he does. He's probably not going to do an electric move against Hippowdon there. He Terras. Again, he can be electric, he can be fairy, or he can be water. Let's see what he is. He's water, which is a nice choice versus my sand team, of course. Giving him super effective coverage into Excadrill and Hippowdon. And giving a nice neutral coverage move that he can use versus Screamtail here. And that does almost half to us. Half after the chip damage here. We get a little bit back here with our leftovers, of course. And now what do? So this is kind of a mess up on my end. I think, oh my gosh, he's no longer electric. We can Thunder Wave him. I was actually planning to Encore him into his Terra Blast Water so I could switch in with Shaman. But I just totally blow this one and go for... just totally forgetting that he's burnt. Just a total bonehead move. We eat another Terra Blast. And so now I think, okay, we gotta... That was a bad move. Maybe we should have healed. We get one more turn here. So now is when now that I've wasted that last turn, I'm going to go for the Encore here to at least get him Encored into something that's not going to kill Shaman. Thunderclap is potentially killing Shaman here depending on the roll. So we don't want him to be a Thunderclapper for us. So we go for an Encore. He withdraws into... Yeah, well, into his only other choice, Darkrai. Scared of being Encored, I guess? So now we're in a situation with our nearly killed Screamtail. He could have killed us there. He didn't. And I think I opt to keep Screamtail alive here because Raging Bolt is a threat to KO my entire team here. He has Thunderclap will kill, I think, 3 out of 4 of the rest of my non-Screamtail Mon. And then he's got Terra Blast Water for Hippowdon. So if we let his Raging Bolt come in, it can win this game for him still, depending on how the rolls are and what we presume is his moveset, of course. So we bring in Chi-Yu, knowing that this thing does not have Focus Blast, or he at least has not used it yet. He goes for Dark Pulse. So now we are in a winning situation, winning position right here because we're Choice Scarf, we're faster than him. We KO Darkrai here, obviously. He is not going to be able to survive a Dark Pulse with his Raging Bolt here. The only way he can kill our Chi-Yu is to hit it with a Thunderclap. If he Thunderclaps, we come back in with Screamtail and we can Encore him. That's exactly what he does. And once he is Encored into this, we can play around him pretty easily. So this really is our game to lose at this point in time. We're going to do exactly what I just said. We're going to come in, we're going to Encore him into his Thunderclap here. We have Burn slowly chipping him away here. Dazzling Gleam will kill him, but in order to avoid being hit by Thunderclap, I'm not able to attack him. So I think I go for a Wish here. I think we go for a Wish. Kind of an annoying stretched out end game for him here because he's stuck Thunderclapping and we're just waiting for Burn to kill him, which is kind of lame. But you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. I think I actually opt to finish this game a little bit faster. I saved him a turn here in the end. I could have waited for the Wish Heal and then attacked him with Screamtail to finish the job, but we decided to give the assist to Hippowdon here. Seeing his health, one turn of Sandstorm and one more turn of Burn will kill him. So in we come with Hippowdon. And this should be the final turn. He Thunderclaps because, again, he has to use Encored. No surprise there. He takes damage from Sandstorm. We get healed, which doesn't matter. And then the burn from Chi-Yu finishes the job, so Chi-Yu gets credited with the kill of Raging Bolt. And that is good games to Zach Mander, one of our fiercest rivals. We have a finals match against him in the ZDL coming up next week, so make sure and tune into that one, you guys, and tune into IDL again next week. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.